is always into poor mindset, right? This interview between Louis host and business strategist Myron Golden drops some massive perspective shifts on how we view money, selling, and mindset. Let's break down the deepest takeaways from the video where he thinks our mind is reprogrammed to stay poor. And in those lessons, let's get the concepts, let's go deeper and analyze what's basically what makes Myron think that our mind is programmed to stay poor. Let me break down in the in-depth learning. So first, number one is the myth of scarcity, the air analogy. Myron explains that people do not actually lack abundance. They lack awareness of their access to it. Most people live as though there is limited amount of wealth in the world. It compares this to walking around afraid to take a deep breath because you are worried you must run out of air for everyone else. Wealth can be created. One person gaining abundance does not inherently deprive another. Let's move on to the next learning, that is the second one. The original temptation focus on lack. In the fascinating spiritual crossover, Myron highlights that according to biblical history, the first temptation in the Garden of Eden wasn't just about an apple. It was the enemy successfully shifting Adam and Eve's focus onto the single thing that they lacked, causing them to completely lose awareness of the 99% abundance they already possess for free. Third learn, the hypnotic reprogramming of cells. We are all born natural cells people. A 4-month-old baby completely commands and persuades its parents to simply by crying. However, society hypnotically programs us to think talking about money or asking for it is a icky or inherently greedy. To build wealth, entrepreneurs have to actively break through the subconscious barrier and realize that selling is just a mechanism of service. Fourth, the law of average. Fearing rejection is the fastest way to kill a business. Myron emphasizes understanding your average. If you are business closing rate, 1 out of 10 people, when a no isn't a failure. It's mathematically just one step closer to the yes that is legally required to show up by the law of averages. Fifth learning, greatness via scale of service. When asked for this ultimate definition, greatness, Myron answered is simple. The greatness is determined by how many people you serve. The market rewards value. If you want to make a massive impact and a massive income, you have to scale the number of people whose lives you are actively making better. Now let's make the breadth of abundance. Okay, so what's that? A Gary, a hyper anxious accountant who has just watched his exact Myron Golden interview and is trying to apply it literally. Gary, entirely normal, slightly tired coworker who just wants to eat her lunch. Sarah sits all on the table, scrolling on her phone, eating a salad. Gary stands by the water cooler. He is talking massive theoretical lung busting gasps of air. He inhales so hard his shoulders touches his ears. He exhales like a deflating bouncy castle. Gary, you are hyperventilating. Stop it. Gary, I'm not hyperventilating, Sarah. I am experiencing awareness. I used to breathe like a peasant, worried, and I'm still your oxygen. Not anymore. The air is infinite. There is more than enough in air for everybody to have more than enough air. Sarah, great. Can you infinitely breathe a little quieter? You are blowing my tears off the plate. Gary, in a deep voice, stepping closer, Sarah, let me ask you a question. Why are you eating that salad? Sarah, because I'm hungry. Gary, wrong. You are trapped in the Garden of Eden mindset. Look at you, focusing on the lack of dressing. You have lost focus on the macro abundance of lettuce leaves. The enemy has deceived your subconscious. Sarah, Gary, it is Caesar salad. It came with a dressing on it. Gary, a classic spiritual deception. Speaking of value, I see have a bag of chips over there. I would like to buy one single barbecue chips from you for $5. Gary, would you like to buy this half-eaten chips back for $10? Gary, I rejection. Excellent. That one of the 10 out of 10, according to the law of averages, I'm exactly 11.1% closer to the yes. Gary walks up to the completely random coworker, Dave, who is just trying to microwave the soup. Dad, Dave, half-eaten barbecue chips, $10, value add, high leverage. Dave, get away from me, Gary. Gary punches the air. Yes, 2 rejections. My mathematical average is tracking beautifully. The momentum is undeniable. Gary, you are just losing $5 and creeping out of the department. Gary, I'm tapping into my inner 4-month-old Sarah. When I was a baby, I cried, the world provoked, the world provided. Society hypnotically programmed me to stop crying for what I want. Well, I am deprogramming. Gary drops to his knees, looks at the ceiling, and lets out a tiny, high-pitched newborn wail. Wow. Gary said, wow. Give me the regional manager positions. The regional manager walks into the break room, holds a clipboard, looks at Gary on the floor, and looks at Sarah. Regional manager, what is happening here? Sarah, Gary is scaling his service to achieve greatness. Regional manager, Gary, get off the floor and go clear up the spreadsheet's error in row 4. Gary, 3 rejections. The yes is legally required. And 2, happen soon. The principles do not be. If you want to look further into Myron's frameworks of business scaling, or want to unpack the specific chapters of his book, Boss Moves, mentioned in the video, let me know, have you tried applying any of these mindset shifts to your own work yet? Thank you so much who have been here patiently listening. Thank you. Bless you.